Hello folks, welcome back to the Amber Serpent. My name is Gulveg. Okay, it is once again that time where the moon has reached her fullest potential and is showering down all of the energy that has been accumulated over the last month. We are now having our full moon in Pisces here, September 2021. So, this is a very interesting full moon because the new moon that came right before it, Virgo, it was a very different kind of energy. So Virgo is an earth sign and it's very analytical, very organized, very structured. It likes things to be nice and tidy, a little bit of a perfectionist. And Pisces is deeply emotional. It's a water sign. It's imaginative. It's intuitive. It's creative. And so we essentially have like these signs that are associated with two very different sides of our consciousness, and they're interplaying with one another. On top of that, we have Mars and Venus, which switched houses during this full moon. And so we have the sacred masculine, Mars, kind of hanging out in Venus's house. She's the sacred feminine. And the sacred feminine decided that she was going to go take a little bit of a jaunt and go hang out and have a slumber party over at Mars's house. So we have a lot of polarity in this full moon, more so than in a lot of other full moons. So a couple of different things that this might be bringing up is, one, we might be able to actually create more equilibrium, more clarity, if we are able to take a few steps back and take a look at the big picture and take a look at these different sides of our personality and our life. So how am I being do I have enough structure in my life? Am I organized enough? Or maybe I'm being overly analytical. Maybe I'm being too much in that earth element, versus we have the Pisces where it's like, am I allowing myself to imagine the possibilities enough? Am I connected and trusting my intuition? Do I have a healthy relationship with my intuition? And how might I allow both these opposites of myself, how might I allow them to work together in more of a marriage in order to be able to have the most vitality and wellness and wealth and all the good things? So it'll be very interesting to see what the tarot has to say about this full moon, in that we have so many different polar opposite energies at play here. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so if you are joining me, then even though you're watching this in a recording, I'm of the belief that as I'm recording this, I'm speaking to your future self. And so I do believe that even though you're watching this in a recording, that setting the intention with me actually makes a big difference. So join me in setting the intention, asking the question to our divine highest selves: what do we need to know or do to best utilize this full moon in Pisces? What do we need to know or do to best utilize this full moon in Pisces? All right. Okay, so we have 6 cards that came out of the deck. And we have the 8 of Wands, 9 of Swords reversed, Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Lovers, Ten of Swords, and Two of Cups. All right, so Eight of Wands and Nine of Swords coming out together. We have the Eight of Wands. It oftentimes refers to travel. It oftentimes refers to, and in this case, with it coming up with the Nine of Swords, the way that I'm seeing these two energies kind of joining together is that I think that there's been a lot of contemplation of what might come next for us. And perhaps until very recently, we might have been really burdened by anxieties and nightmares, a lot of mental discord. And with it being reversed, it's saying that it's time to release the anxieties, and it's time to start creating a plan for creating momentum for the future. What is it that you're moving towards? Because the anxieties and the nightmares, what I'm seeing with the Seven of Pentacles reversed, is that those anxieties and nightmares, they might have their root in a very somewhat recent disappointment. So, Seven of Pentacles is about reaping what you sow. It's about harvesting. With it being reversed, what's coming to me is that perhaps we've put a lot of effort and a lot of energy into something, and we might be taking a different look at it. Like maybe the new job isn't working out the way we wanted it to, or maybe the relationships that we have cultivated over the last year, maybe they're not fulfilling us or the way that we would like it to be fulfilled. Maybe they're not reciprocal. And especially with the Lover's card being the card that came up with the Seven of Pentacles. The thing that's really important about the Lover's card being right side up with kind of this wah, wah, wah kind of card of the Seven of Pentacles reversed is that the element of the Lovers that's coming up here is truth. So it's not like you were led astray by the universe in whatever situation might be a little disappointing. It's that we are being, perhaps what we had to do is we might have needed to learn some lessons through there. Perhaps there are elements of what it is that we created that we can take with us into whatever comes next. For example, maybe that new job that, just doesn't feel right. Maybe we met some people through that new job that ended up becoming really great friends, or are the ones that actually can line us up with a contact for a different career opportunity that is the right fit. So just because it doesn't work out the exact way that we think it will, does not mean it's a complete failure. And sometimes, there are do-overs in life. Sometimes it's just like we do have to just kind of like scrap it and go back to the drawing board. And even then, I don't believe in like complete failures. Things can feel like a failure, but at the end of the day, like there's usually some element of a gift that's within that we can take with us. So look for the gift. If you are feeling kind of like, oh, man, like this is really disappointing. If you're feeling anxious around that, or maybe being hard on yourself, let that go. Let it go. It's not going to serve you, and and that's not the truth. Anything that we're doing that's shoulding on ourselves, don't should on yourself. It's not a good look. And it's also giving us an opportunity to plant very deep seeds that are in alignment with inner fulfillment. That's really the name of the game for whatever this new cycle is that is presenting the opportunities, is what is it that is truly going to fulfill your heart. It's very easy to get into the adult mode where, you just have to do what you got to do in order to make ends meet. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the cards are saying that this time around, whatever it is that's going to fulfill you the most is actually going to bring you the harvest monetarily that you're also looking for as well. So that brings us to the last two cards, which is the Ten of Swords and the Two of Cups. I think that this kind of goes back a little bit to the Lover's card and the Seven of Pentacles, in that we might be really looking at our relationships right now. Not just our intimate relationships, but, oh, my cat's trying to lay down. Here, need some room, buddy? Okay, there you go. Go ahead, lay down. So we might be looking at our intimate relationships, but this might also relate to our professional relationships as well as our friendships. There's probably a good chance with the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is about betrayal, like literally getting stabbed in the back, So are there some past wounds of betrayal that we're still like carrying with us? And if that is true, if we haven't forgiven, then I also always look at the Ten of Swords as being cords. So like energetic cords that tether us. Cords are never good, folks. Cords create connections that energetically enmesh us with other individuals. We want to have connection without being like entwined with one another. Like essentially it constricts and it binds two people together, and it's never a healthy thing. So we can also have cords to situations. So if there was a sense of betrayal or something of that nature in the past, and we haven't completely forgiven, not condoning that situation, but bringing our energy back by saying, you know what? I'm not going to stay this situation's victim any longer. I'm not going to stay the victim of this individual any longer. Like, you go do you, I go do me, and I am choosing to start again, this time more free. And that is going to lead the way to healing and to new relationships and or a new quality to our existing relationships that is going to be so beautiful and so fulfilling. In this particular card, we have the caduceus symbol, which is the symbol of medicine. So this goes beyond just having a harmonious interaction with others or finding that special someone. It also is about healing the heart and the soul. It's about also having a new relationship with ourselves. As most of us probably know, it's really only when we have that loving, compassionate relationship with ourselves that we can attract with the most ease and grace relationships that value us, that are reciprocal, and that have that quality of unconditional love in and of themselves as well. So there's a lot of just reanalyzing, revisiting, renewing. And so going back to the Virgo and Pisces thing, we can use the Virgo energy to very much get clarity on what it is that needs to be reorganized or restructured. And we can use the Pisces energy to imagine that with that new space from the restructuring and the reorganization, and perhaps there might be some people that might be leaving our life, or perhaps we're going to let certain things that at one point in time seem like an opportunity, but that opportunity really no longer exists anymore. Whatever it is that we're kind of letting go and moving on from in our life, we can use the Pisces energy of this full moon to imagine the new possibilities of what we might plant in that space. So the Pisces is what allows us to have that seed of potential to create something absolutely beautiful and new that is based on truth, not an illusion, not shoulding, not on what everybody else's opinions are of what we should be doing, but based on the truth of what you're being called to do at this point in time. And Virgo is basically what creates the little hole in the earth, that space, because Virgo She's very pragmatic. That energy has no problem with being like, not working anymore. Cancel, clear, delete. She's a perfectionist, and she likes things ordered, and she likes things tidy. And if there are things in our life that are not in alignment with them being organized and structured, she doesn't really have a problem with cleaning house. Pisces, on the other end, might, because of the attachment, that emotional piece, might have a little bit of a grieving process around that. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to grieve, give ourselves time and space to go through that process. But at the end of the day, all of this is truly working on our most and best benefit, because if we hold on to seeds of opportunity that have died, then all they are going to do is decompose and become stinkier. So we might as well just kind of, uproot whatever it is that needs to be uprooted, compost that, and then decide with our intuition and imagination of what the possibilities are, what it is that we would like to put into that new space that has been created. So, yeah, it's not necessarily like, this reading isn't saying that everything's going to be easy, obviously, but it is saying that it's totally going to be worth it. And at the end of the day, healing, beauty, and camaraderie are right around the corner if we just have the courage to make the decisions and to get quiet enough to be able to hear what our own truth really is. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining me for this full moon tarot report. Look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks when we take a look at the new moon. See ya.